Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of I'm Telling You.
Telling you.
As always with you, your amazing antics-filled host, Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Fact checker extraordinaire, JD.
And we got the full house rocking tonight. And, if you want to reach us so that you can talk to one of us or all three of us, you can hit us up at ITY at directionsandmusic.org. That's ITY. Yeah, that's simple.
You said org?
At the org. Yeah, but, and directions. There's an S at the end of directions.
Not a Z.
Yeah, no. It's plural. So directionsinmusic.org.
Yes.
Yeah, as well as you can do Gemini directionsinmusic.org or Philly D. That's with two L's, a Y and a D at directionsinmusic.org. Yeah, for first-time listeners, this is a 30-year friendship of me and this jackass trying to make the world a better place, I guess.
Is that what we're doing? I don't even. Just talk, and we like to talk.
Yeah, we always talk. We talk a lot.
With the words and stuff.
Yeah, we've been talking pretty much all of our existence together. That's just our thing. Like that's what we do. Yeah, and now we have our fact checker extraordinaire that totally assists from afar. The remote knowledge specialist, as I've called it. It's good stuff.
Basically, to keep us from talking out the ass.
What you do? I mean, I feel like the majority of the time I'm pretty spot on with if I'm like, yo, no, this is a thing. Like if I stand my ground, more times than not, it's usually true. Like I'm pretty good about you know what I mean? Like, dude, if I'm like trying to no, I can't do that. You gotta, So I'm only gonna toot my horn.
As long as
when
you
I'm
make it sound convincing.
I know, right?
So I feel like that's 9/10 of it. Just make it sound convincing.
You just got to stick the landing. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Just stick the landing.
Make it believable.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a board game like that?
Oh, probably. Who knows?
Where you had to they give you some oddball word, whether it was true or not.
Oh, you had to
make up a word or make up a definition for a word.
Yeah.
And try to get people.
Boulder Dash or something?
Was it Boulder Dash? Yeah.
I don't know. I never played that one. I'm not really.
The name of the game was basically to lie your way out of something. You just make up something.
Well,
but it's the way you write it, it actually sounds like a definition.
But if everybody knows it's a made up word, then I don't know. How do you score that game? What's the point? I don't
know. It just you go, maybe it's true. But if everybody writes a different definition, isn't that how it works? I can't remember. It's been a while since I played that.
I have no clue.
Yeah. Do you remember the game Bullshit?
I mean, the drinking game?
Yeah, it was a card game, wasn't it?
Well, it was a card game, yeah.
Well, yeah, a card game, but for drinking. We always put
a card game. That's what I mean, a card game.
Yeah, we would add drinking to that or asshole. I mean, that was another one, but yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, what is there something
El
special?
Presidente.
You're right. Oh man, yeah. If you were smart, if you've been around the block a few times, you knew how to play that game. There was only a couple rules that you had to do, and it was just that set the entire night. You just knew what was what, and you could just sit there and just relax and drink, watch everybody else get wasted. Oh man. Not that I would actually play those games. I would just sit around and witness it. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While getting wasted.
Well, of course not. No, I'm taking notes and being smart and safe in case somebody needed a ride home or, yeah, I'm a good boy. Nobody? All right. I mean, I tried sometimes. No, honestly, I'll be as I got older, I definitely did. I was always kind of the responsible one just because, I was raised very European, so I was allowed to drink.
European.
When I'm in the bathroom, I am. So I was raised around alcohol. I was taught respect for it. So, I never really partied all that hard, at least not with the booze. You know what I mean? So, yeah, even if I was
it wasn't 6-year-old birthday. Here's a 6-pack, boy, drink up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so when I would go to parties and stuff, I've already been, so I know what's what. So I can drink a little bit. Plus I'm Irish and, Scottish, so we can drink. And I was raised to be, like Hispanic or something, man. I can just drink all the way around, and the good stuff too. Okay, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want the mas fine, man. I want the good stuff.
Very, very good stuff. Very fine.
Yeah, very, very fine. Very,
fine.
very good. Very good. Easy there, Rain Man.
Yes, definitely. So,
yes. What did you have? Something? Are you here? What's going on?
I have all sorts of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I have all sorts of things. Yeah,
over there and there's
look,
some
she's
over
like,
there.
Interested. Continue. You've
Oh, you mean topics? No,
I got that. I got no.
I just came here to hang out.
Just
Am I in the wrong room? Is this the room for an argument?
I know. Is this not Econ 103? Is that what? Oh, I'm sorry. Guess I'll go next door. Try them. Sorry about that. Oh man.
Hey, Teach, aren't you proud of me? I'm the first one here.
Hey, what's calculus?
What's calculus?
Oh man, what is that? Stand and deliver, right?
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips, right?
Diamond Phillips, yeah.
Yeah, who's Teach? I always forget. Jaime. What was his name?
Yeah, Jaime was the character's
that was his character's name, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I remember that because I was like, that's my dad.
It was a funny scene. It's like this whole moving thing goes on, and like the class is really starting to, and then he comes walking in after it's all over. It's like perfect.
Yeah, it almost had like the Welcome Back Carter kind of feel to it, but for like
He comes strutting in with his hands in his pockets.
Oh, dude, yeah, he was like, dude, he was straight freaking. Yeah, dude, he was like straight cholo. Like, I mean, he's got the only the top button there with the white shirt underneath on the, the khakis real nice and tight. Like, dude, bandana, sunglasses, like straight lean back. Like, dude, when you're like Chicano like that, man, like we walk like, with our head up and like shoulders back a little bit, man. We're peacocks like that. We strut, dude. You know what I mean? Like
I'm watching you from afar.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Well, that's the thing. That's why when you ever like see each other
right next to me, I'm watching you from afar.
Whenever you see each other, you always do the what's up, because you're already leaning back. You're like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? And then, like sometimes when you like really want to be like respectful, you like lean back even further, like, hey. It just makes it easier.
Yeah,
like,
I almost fell over that time, eh?
Well, dude, George Lopez makes a joke about it where it's like the guy like leaned back so far that when he came back up, the guy was already gone. He's like, hey, you didn't see me? He's like, nah, dude, I went back and I came back and you were gone. And he's just like, he's like, no, I went like this, like, gave him the head nod and stuff. And he's like, no, you got to wait for me. You gotta wait for me.
Wait for me to come back down, man.
Well, because that's the thing is like growing. So like this is probably one of my favorite specials from him. It's was it Why You Crying? Is he expresses a lot of like his childhood growing up, and he's like telling all these jokes and stuff. Like 90% of what he's talking about is my existence growing up in my neighborhood. Like dude,
spot on.
Oh, dude, like every inch of it, from going to the name of the, like going to the right drugstore for like freaking getting ice cream and stuff like that, Safeway and all that kind of stuff. And dude, you're just like, oh, dude, it's ridiculous. The guy like riding the bike down the street with the freaking cart in front, like elote, you know what I mean? Like the melon truck, like all these different things. And so, one of those things growing up was like, hey, wait for me. Cause dude, everybody was always saying, hey, wait for me. Like, dude, this is a legit thing. It's almost as prevalent as saying like dude living in California, you know what I mean? So, he's cracking these jokes about it and he's like, hey, wait, you didn't wait for me, man. You got to wait for me to come back up. And dude, I started cracking up so hard. I love me some George Lopez.
So that was the thing in a peacock. Yeah. You do that.
It's just it's that strut, man. Like, I mean, as far back as I remember, like that was the thing, like all the movies that I would like watch or the TV shows or whatever, like whatever I would get my hands on was like, stuff of the neighborhood, basically. That's what I'm saying. I didn't grow up like watching like standard, like middle class white America television of the 80s. Like that just wasn't my experience.
Oh.
But dude, it's cool. I was watching all the other shows that were like way better. I'm just saying, like,
all right.
Dude, I like what I was raised on. It was good.
You like what?
All the stuff that I was raised on.
I like
Cold beverages.
Oh, yeah.
Butts and I cannot lie.
Hey, boss, big butts.
How are you still in my line?
What do you do?
Oh my God, Becky. Look at her butt.
Well, see, as
It's just like so big. It's like out there.
well, you and I, as like kids from the 80s and stuff, come like being born like late 70s or whatever. Like we had the upbringing where you had that experience of Sir Mix-a-Lots. I like big butts and stuff. But then you and I, older as like dads now, and then watching Shark Tales, where that comes from, and like that, you know what I mean. So it's like the joke has transitioned now, where it's no longer us like trying to like shake it with Sir Mix-a-Lot.
That was
now we're
totally
just like,
written for the parents. Yeah.
oh yeah, dude.
It's like, here's your joke.
Just the freaking the octopus or whatever. What are they like the
Hey, boss, big butts. Yeah.
the two
You put on the wrong side of the record or something. And why would both those things be on the same record? I don't know, but
dude, that's a weird B-side, bro. I'm just saying that's
it's really odd. Yeah.
it was. It's a one of a kind pressing for sure. But yeah, just that cracks me up is how the same piece is still funny to us, just in a different fashion now.
Let's see again.
Well, yeah, because it's no longer like, because if we hear that song, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, like, it'll get a chuckle out of us. But, you do the freaking quote, of, hey, boss, big, and it's just like that. That's funny to me.
It's just a weird thing about getting older. And like, maybe it's like, out of the whole list of things that you could say, like, when this happens, you realize you're getting older. And one of them for me was when I heard Trent Reznor's Closer on the elevator. I swear to you. And I was like, I think a single tear came out of my left eye.
Wait. Was it the legit track or was it
No, it was Muzak. That's what the tear was for. And it was like immediate. Like there was like a single tear just like fought its way out of my eyeball, and I was just like, wow.
Well, dude, think about this, man. Dr. Dre's The Chronic album is now a classic. Like how
well it should be.
Right? But like, how old is that album though? Like for real? Come on now.
Oh, and I don't know if it was
Which one specifically?
The Chronic.
The Chronic.
Yeah, I would say it was like 96 or something. I don't know, 97 maybe.
I just remember it was the first compact disc that I purchased, music disc. Yeah.
Dude, I remember that.
Because they were just making the conversion.
92. Oh, yeah. See, that is way back.
Remember when you picked up CDs, they were still in that half vinyl width. So they were tall. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because that was like the anti-theft device, because you can't go walking out of the store with this, like.
No, but the true reason for it was they didn't feel like converting all the shelving.
Yeah, right.
It would have cost
it was
millions
like
of dollars, so that they decided to just make the packaging taller.
Yeah, so you could stick them in and they would stand up.
You could fit 2 rows of CDs into a record slot.
Yeah. And it also became an anti-theft device.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just like, hey, by the way, they're just like, now you don't have to put the freaking code in there.
It was like inside a box. You'd have to, get a hacksaw to get the thing out.
Yeah, oh my God, right? You like half the time you would break the case trying to get it out of the sleeve. Like you would crack the corner or get one of the little tabs that pops so that you could, oh dude, that was a pain in the butt. Horrible.
It's the good old days.
See, I was like way reluctant to get into CDs because I was still rocking like mad vinyl and I had a pretty dope tape collection, right?
Being young was the best, man.
Being young, we didn't have to pay for nothing, right?
Just chilling out, listening to bad music. I want to say bad,
why is it bad?
Badass music. Like, I mean, honestly, that was none of the stuff we listened to when we were that age, especially when I was like around. See, between 10 and 13.
We need context on this because you will apparently mosh to the Doors. So I'm just saying, when it comes to music with you, there's the thing. Go ahead.
There was a lot of alcohol consumption at the time. So
was that it? Just the alcohol? Is that what you're going to blame it on?
I think it was just alcohol.
I think never take a drink from a stranger, bro. What the heck? Didn't your mama raise you right?
No, remember that was my boy's house. I think it was old granddad.
Is that the house you were at, or was that what you were drinking?
No, it was like a handle of old granddad that we were drinking from. That was the kid I said his pop actually marked all the bottles.
Oh, right. And you had to we could just water it down. They'll never know.
Yeah, he thought he was some kind of genius. Like he was the first one to think of it. Like, man, I'll just fill right back up to the line or the level,
Yeah, no, you are not the OG on that one.
It's funny. My spiced rum is starting to look like single malt whiskey. I don't know.
And it's not as spicy anymore. What's going on here?
It's very refreshing, as a matter of fact.
This is very crisp. I don't remember it being so crisp before.
It tastes a lot like my tap water. It's really weird.
Oh, I don't know.
Anywho.
Yeah, but see, dude, we lived in a completely different time frame. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, every generation, I'm sure, feels that way.
No. All right, so
I mean, when you remember having a phone, you had a phone in the house and it was in the kitchen, or there might be one in mom and dad's bedroom.
Well, yeah, so they can wake up for an emergency call.
That phone, yo, get off the phone. I want to make a call. I want to talk to my girlfriend, whatever. Do you remember those days? We're totally different now. Everybody's connected. And it seems like people are further apart, which is just so weird.
What was that?
I said everybody just has a cell phone at their disposal. Like you said, back in the day, you had probably the rotary phone or one portable phone in your house, depending on if it was pre or post 80s or 90s. But and
it's not just
everybody's
a phone,
too connected.
If it was just a phone, that would be one thing. But it's just like everything that we depend on this one device for. But does it really make us closer?
I just had Trent Reznor music.
That got stuck with you, huh? I'm telling you. Oh, a single tear. I couldn't even control it. It just.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I had a moment outside of myself on that elevator that day.
Oh, I know, right?
I was just like, wow. I found myself hearing the words in my. I was like, I wanna you like it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Oh, it's a sad, sad day. And then that tear crept out. I just couldn't help it.
Oh, I'll hold you later. Make it okay.
No, you won't.
No, nothing will make it better.
Nothing of the sort.
This world will never be the same. Shattered, ruined.
Moonshine.
Is that your safe word? I don't what's.
It's Grandpappy's moonshine.
Just love that word.
What, moonshine or safe word?
I like moonshine.
Oh, I like safe word. It's fun to say.
Okay. Lentil.
Lentil.
Parallelogram.
Oh my goodness.
Zenith.
Zenith is actually a pretty good word, especially when you're playing Scrabble and stuff, man, because the Z, there's not a whole lot of common Z words. Playing Scrabble, you get to learn a lot of good Z words, man. I'm telling you.
Zebra.
Mm-hmm. But that's what
that's it. And
there's so many more though.
Always.
So what other than Venus?
What is that?
What else other than Venus?
Other than what? I cannot tell.
Zenith.
Other than Zenith. Oh, see, there you go. You gotta. It's that freaking Boston accent. I can't handle it. Zygote. There's zip, zag. You got all those. Zoom.
Isn't that onomatopoeia?
Zebra.
Yeah.
Does onomatopoeia count as a word? I guess it does.
Yeah. There's biz, where you actually get the Z at the end. Oh, what's up? And then bizarre. I mean,
not a Z word though. Z has to be at the beginning of it. It's a Z word.
Well, not just Z as a letter. There's
zipper?
not a lot of common words with Z in it.
Zipper?
I think maybe that's why they save it for last, because they're just we don't just sometimes here just
zany.
Put it back there.
Zany.
Just in case we need it.
Z word.
Jazz hands.
That's got two Z.
That's got two. Well, that's because it's jazz hands.
One for each.
One for each hand.
Z for each hand.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I only do the jazz hands in the jacuzzi.
I don't even, I mean, I think I might want to hear this story. Why is it that you would only do jazz hands in a jacuzzi? Please elaborate if you wouldn't mind.
Because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
You're just sitting there relaxing and
dude, no, I'll tell you what, like one of my favorite stories to tell about when I used to work in the industry.
You're just hanging out in the hot tub like,
dude, I'm working at this spot, and like we had this special treat of like all the beer where it's like you can like pour and taste everything that's in the house, right? But usually this would be something that you would sample for like a whole table of people. Well, it's like a Saturday afternoon. I mean, like literally we just opened. It's like literally. Yeah, it's like 11:15 on a Saturday morning. And there's a freaking gaggle of dudes broing it up in the main bar. And I'm like, what the dude is 11 like what in the so there's like literally so much like freaking action going on that I'm like, oh dude, you know what I mean? It's gotta be like birthday, bachelor party, like something, right? Like there's a unique special event going on here. Like there's just like 7 dudes, and I mean they are just already rowdy and having a good old time, and there's no holidays near or anything else, so it's just like totally random. It's like the weirdest, because like outside of them there was like no business in the place, so it's literally like empty place, 7 dudes drinking at the bar. Well, I go over and I see that they're literally drinking.
Don't say that word anymore. That's like we're on like number 5 now, I think.
What's that?
Literally.
Dude, no, literally, because this is not a joke, man. This is like our verbatim. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, dude. So I go over and I see that there's all the beer, and I'm like, oh, cool. So they're all just like on, you know, like they're on a beer cruise where they're just like pub crawl something or other. They're just, you know, and it's like, no. 6 dudes are drinking their own beers, and there's all these little beers in front of one dude. I'm like, totally a birthday party or like bachelor party. So I'm like, all right, cool. They're getting homeboy wasted. Like they're partying up for the weekend. Like this is pre-game and getting them like wrecked for the night. Totally get this. So I'm like, I want in on the action. So I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? You know, start like shooting it. And then I'm like, so what's going on? Like, what's the occasion? Is anything special? Like, you know, birthday, something or other. The one dude straight up looks at me and just goes, it's Saturday, bro. Like as plain as day. Like it's the dumbest question in the world. It's
just, like, why would you ask?
It's Saturday, bro. Like what do you do on Saturday? And I'm like,
wow,
dude, that's like the most bro-ish answer I've ever heard in my entire life. It's Saturday, bro.
Like this is what you do every Saturday, or just because?
I'm like,
Saturday,
dude, they just like are okay. Next weekend it's Tom's turn, and then like next weekend Dave. You know, it's just like what in the heck? And no, it's just.
I mean, I don't think that's what he meant. Like, oh, this is what we're doing.
I think it is.
Really?
Oh no, this was like, I want to say, like late 20s, early 30s, and they're still like frat style drinking on a Saturday. And it's hilarious to them. And I'm just like, whatever, man, live it up. That's super dope, man. That's like the coolest answer I could ever get.
It's Saturday.
Dude, it's Saturday, bro.
Come on, man.
Just forever ingrained in my head. Like that's straight word for word. It's Saturday, bro. Like blank face, just like quick response. Like there was no hesitation. And I'm like looking around at the rest of them, and they're all like shaking their heads like, yeah, Saturday. Yeah, just like drinking their beers. Like this is the thing. And you know, that's pretty much what they would do is they would just go around to different places on like weekends and just somebody always got wasted. I'm just like, huh? Hey, as long as you all get home safe, you know, enjoy yourself.
It's Saturday.
Bro.
Man, like, what was I thinking? I'm sorry I even asked. I'm so stupid. It's Saturday.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're like, you know, celebrating a singular occasion. It's just Saturday, bro. I'm like, dude, this is beautiful.
Just hanging out, drinking some beers, man.
Yeah, but that's pretty freaking cool, right? Like,
and every Saturday bro date.
Dude, it's just Saturday, man. Like it's another Saturday. Party time. Why? Because it's Saturday. All right, cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh yeah, dude, that was like one of the dopest answers I've ever had, as well as I was just like, you know what, bros? Like, party.
So you dress up, you tank up.
You load up. You party. Well, we get dressed up. We don't, we don't like do drugs or anything. The only burners like you get high.
One time, my cousin.
I didn't have any shoes, so I had to borrow them.
I like that part.
One time my cousin kiddo, and he like started feeling like he didn't belong and eating weird foods. Freaking Brian Johnson, man, that guy. Like, I'll tell you what, man, Anthony Michael Hall is like a legit actor. Like, he's a really, even as a kid and as he got older, like he's still just a good actor. He was in Cobra Kai, man. Yeah. Towards I think it was the second or third one where you meet. So he played the part that was the original master of Cobra Kai. I always forget the freaking what's his name? Fact check me on this. But the character that he plays. So the guy that is basically made Cobra Kai like super like death
in the original movie.
Yeah, well, because then in
the series came back.
Yeah, so in the series, so you never learned what made him be this kind of harsh person where he's like, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. Like, that's his thing, So he teaches like, you finish him. You're not done until they're done. Like, you show your enemy, no mercy. Like, you do it always. Well, so Anthony Michael Hall plays his. He's like a lieutenant or a corporal or something. He's like, he's up the ladder a little bit, but he basically starts putting together like some of the first, special ops teams, more or less. Like the guys that started training hard and like learning different hand-to-hand combats and all that kind of stuff and like, weapons and all that. And there's a whole backstory on that where he has to play this guy where he's just like, he's out there, man. But this would be the person that would be the leader of like special ops where it's like, you got to do some crazy stuff to get away with the things that you're doing where, you got to be out in the jungle on your own for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, like no contact, no food. And you got to be able to survive and still do your job. Like one of these kind of guys. Well, they wind up getting like both picked up or something and they're in a, prisoner camp and all that stuff. And dude, he puts them through some like crazy, crazy things, which gets him to basically snap. So when he comes back to, America after all that, yeah, that's what made him such like a hard ass, more or less. And so,
John Kreese.
Yeah, John Kreese. There you go. Thank you. But yeah, so Anthony Michael Hall, though, so having to play that kind of a character, dude, he had a whole different voice. He was like all pumped up. Like he was a big dude. Like, he was doing some like combat stuff. So, as an actor, he's really solid. Like he's gone from like super nerd, geeky little scrawny, whatever to, Billy Badass, like Navy SEAL, Black Ops kind of guy. That's some solid acting, my man.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a spectrum.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of
just trying to think or
any other.
There's a new season.
What is that? Oh, of the new Cobra Kai show?
The Cobra Kai season.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the third season's coming out soon.
Dude, you know what I heard? I heard they're not going to do another season of the Cowboy Bebop. That is so crappy, but hey, it is what it is.
They just pulled funding.
Well, I guess it wasn't received well, but the ones that did like it are all the hardcore fans. I know. It sucks.
I'd never seen any of them. And it was like watching that. And then I turned around and watched the cartoon. So I'm like, having never seen it, I thought it was pretty decent. But yeah, you always got to expect that when something new comes out. That's why a lot of times I don't catch stuff when it's still brand new.
See, and this was, I want to say like, all right, originally when I started getting away from the whole like watching TV thing, I even did it as far as like no Netflix or none of that stuff or like any of those weird streaming systems, like nothing, right? So I cut out like cable, everything.
It was like movies.
Well, it was all the stuff that I'd already had for myself. Like, so it was, I was just like rewatching my collection.
Right.
But yeah, it was a thing where I was using some of these things. And as I was doing it, yeah, you'd get like the show that you got like one season and it was like ridiculous. You're like, oh my God, this is the most amazing show and I want to watch it so. And you like go to pop the second season and then all of a sudden you like, I realize I'm just like, one season? There's only one of these? And I started to have to get like really strict to see like, all right.
But every network, everywhere, networks
But there were so many of them and it was irritating. So I got to a point where it's just like, all right, cool. So only the stuff that I want to watch, nobody else likes apparently. Okay, cool. Yeah, it just sucks, man. I've gotten used to it. That's why I just keep watching my stuff. Plus, it gives me that focus. You know what I mean?
There's other, I don't know if it was Showtime or HBO with it, Dead Like Me.
Dead Like Me, I don't.
There was only 2 seasons. But it was another one like that could have been really interesting, but it didn't have much of a following.
I don't know, man. To me, I always say to me, I hate that crap. I gotta stop it.
Sometimes it's hard to tell like what exactly is going to take off and what's not. Like, doesn't have that commercial value that
if I like it, it's probably not going to. So I just stop.
so negative.
It's just more times than not, that's the way it's happened. Very rarely is there actually a show that, like How I Met Your Mother. I keep talking about that one too. That had 9 seasons. Love that show. Yeah, there was like Scrubs. I mean, that was they did like 8 technically. There was a 9th season, but it was only a half because it was like they technically finished the show and then people were really upset that they actually ended it and then they wound up doing it and then the new show was a slight twist because it was like a year later. Because, just people were so upset about it that it took that long and they finally put it back together. It wasn't quite the same show because the other people had already started like going off doing other things like movies and everything. But yeah, no, there's
I get all excited about a show coming out because it was a book series that I was reading. So the Dresden Files came out and I think it was just 1 season.
I feel like I've heard this before. What is this?
The Dresden Files?
Yeah, like what's...
I don't know. It's an interesting story. It's a whole series of books. So a storyline.
Okay.
About a magician named Harry Dresden.
Harry Dresden?
Harry Dresden.
Oh, Dresden. I was just like,
called the Dresden
Harry
Files.
Dresden. I was like, that's a really weird porn name, bro. I don't know if that's like...
Just saying.
But he has a longer name than just that, though.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. It's Harry Blackstone Copperfield Dresden.
Yes.
Jesus. Try saying that like 3 times. Just try saying that once. Anyway, so what are the like what is this like actual or is this something that's totally fictional? I mean, is this just a show
No, it's all fictional. Like
okay, so this isn't like
a fantasy
real life events
novel
or
series, yeah.
Gotcha. I tell you what I have been watching lately that's like new stuff. So not going back and like rewatching any of my things or just having it on as like background noise. I've been doing a lot of like documentaries and whatnot. So I've been doing a lot of research as it were. So not just watching documentary movies, but also just but like behind the scenes kind of stuff, like what are the investigative journalism kind of things, like I've been big spectrum and trying to like watch what my sources are. So like what they're, where they're actually coming from and because I mean, that will change the bias. I mean, I learned that from doing, my research with like writing papers and stuff is you gotta, see who's actually backing that paper or that study or because, that will change how you're going to get that information, given to you.
Well, how reliable is the source?
Yeah. It's like, well, you can't write a paper from Wiki. Wikipedia is not like actual.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, at least as far as I'm aware, most colleges, at least people that would systems that would call them or institutions that would call themselves colleges or university.
You cannot. Yeah, this is Harvard. You cannot rock a wiki. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Right.
You and your moonshine, my friend.
Moonshine. It's delicious.
But yeah, man, you always got to check your sources, bro. I think that's just good advice for anything, though.
You got to read the label.
Well, I just, yeah. You should always, I forget who said it. The one guy, always question authority. The one, The one, I think the one LSD guy, Tim something, Tim Leary.
Timothy Leary.
Yeah, Tim Leary. Yeah, I think he always said, always question authority. And it wasn't so much that he was like fight back
He also
against
said,
it.
tune in, turn on,
And
drop out.
Yeah.
He wasn't liked by a lot of people,
Well,
especially conservative people.
because he was telling you to think for yourself and be open-minded. That's all.
This is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
He's also telling people's kids that they can get out of school and that they should go experience life in the now, man.
See, I think there's something to that, though.
There's definitely something to that.
Well, I've always said,
But you got to be really careful the message you're sending when you're
how you
in
say
a
it and what
position
you
of,
say.
of
And,
being a teacher.
an influential,
Yeah.
authoritative figure. I always feel that, like, with
I
proper...
thought it was an interesting movement, though, myself.
Well, I always feel like with proper education, we would always make our kids take these different electives where it was like teaching them like typing or sewing or metalworking or woodworking or all these different trades and things. But we were never to like teaching them like true service industry stuff. Yeah, so I always said that if we're going to make them take those classes, we should also make them like work in the industry somewhere, whether it's as like a server or, a bus person, host, whatever. Like if you give more life experience as opposed to giving just knowledge dispensed on a board so that you can take notes and have the kids take tests about it so they can regurgitate information. Yeah, they take it in, they spit it out.
Well, that's why vocational schools are very important because they get like 1 week of class book work and then the other week of like hands-on
Practical.
real life job training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they get a paycheck too, so it's like win-win.
Well, and the bigger thing is like, all right, cool. So yeah, you can do all that and whatever, but you as a person, just an individual, no matter what walk of life you come from, whether you're, well off, good neighborhood, bad spot, like inner city, in the, middle of nowhere, like whatever your thing is, you still have the opportunity to actually experience more life. You get to try different things and really see what it is to be a part of the community in a sense. I think that's a really important lesson. That's why I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the way we teach our kids now is not like, we could very easily add that influence of more life experiences. And I think that would modify the quality of education for so many people in this country. Like, easy peasy, man. Just give us the option of like trying. Well, it's good. I always say like you should travel. Like everybody should travel within your area, travel outside your country, just see the world, see your world, explore your backyard, just experience life, question things.
I question everything.
It's because you're not that bright.
What day is it?
That's what I'm saying. Just proving my point over here. Oh my goodness. Well, that's what makes it work though, right?
Does it?
It's what makes the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Is it tingling?
That means it's working. Oh man.
Or pins and needles.
Oh God, you right into PCU when he like falls off the couch. He finally finishes his thesis and he just like stands up after like sitting crouched in front of the TV for weeks.
Pins and needles.
Oh man, it's such a good. Oh man, that's such a good movie. There's great scenes, great lines. You always say
He threw 100 pounds of raw meat.
No, he said 50. He's like, and throwing like, he's like, no, it was, or no, maybe it was. He's like, yeah, no, it was way more than that.
It was way more than 100.
Wait, because no, I think it was like 50. Oh, whatever. Yeah, no, it's like it was like a decent.
Well, now see, we have to watch it now.
I don't know. She could probably look it up for us. What's the real quote on that one? And she's just like, wait, which one? Yeah, PCU, when they throw the meat out the, I guess the cafeteria or the bell tower from the cafeteria. I don't know, because it feels like they went in the bottom of the building, went straight up with it from the kitchen, and just started chucking meat on everybody.
Yeah, it was from like the stairwell window or something like that.
Yeah, because it's one of those old style.
So was it 50 or was it 100 pounds of what, ground beef? Yeah.
I think they just said meat.
Meat.
You know, because it was ground beef. I think it was ground beef was pretty much
like a vegetarian animal rights protesters.
Yeah, like a PETA kind of, but like on campus.
It was like raining down murder.
You know, what don't we eat? Meat. Why don't we eat it? It's murder. Like that was their chant. Are you kidding me right now? Is this they're like, oh yeah. Well, I like that movie for
so many. You participated in a phallus naming.
A phallus name. What that movie?
Wait, what's the name of the movie?
PCU, like literally the letters PCU. Yeah, the acronym is the alternate acronym was Politically Correct University, but Port Chester University. That's what it was. So yeah, PCU was Port Chester University, but they changed it to mean Politically Correct University because it was this like
okay.
she's digging on this.
I found it. All right.
Oh, you found the quote? So yeah, is it 50 pounds of meat, 100 pounds of meat?
On a peaceful protest. Oh, come on. That was way more than 100 pounds.
Yeah, so there you go, 100 pounds.
It was way more than 100 pounds.
Yeah, dude, that's where I first met Jeremy Piven as like a main character. Because outside of that, I'd only seen him in.
I thought you were saying you met Jeremy Piven. I was like,
One Day I Am. We're gonna hold hands,
cool.
Gone Through a Field of Daisies together. He was in Wild and Crazy Summer, but he was one of the douchebags on the other side.
Okay.
He's the one that ate Odie's tongue when they cut it off from the boat. And then they're like, chug, and he's just like shaking his shoulders and he's like chewing this fake stuffed animal Odie tongue. And it's so
He's
gross.
got one of those voices though. Like he's actually done quite a bit of voiceover now. Like he was in Cars, wasn't he? He was like
well, dude, he was the narrator for the last Dr. Greer movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, The Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
But I mean, other than that, like, doing cartoon work, I think he's been much more active. And I haven't looked up everything he's done, but he was definitely involved in all the Cars movies, I believe.
Possibly. I don't know. He pops up all over the place.
He was the agent. He was the agent of what's his name? Was it McQueen or something?
Oh,
sports car in Cars.
I mean, that makes sense. He plays because he played the agent on the show Entourage or whatever.
He absolutely did.
Yeah,
same exact character.
Where he would just go on those long-winded rants and then tell everybody to just hug it out, bitch. Let's do that, Jeremy Piven beer, everybody. All right, yay! Oh, yeah, you gotta respect a long-winded rant. You know what I mean? At least we do. He's one of my top guys for sure.
Going all the way back to Carlin. Nothing like a good long-winded rant.
Dude, you know what? I saw him. I had the privilege of actually getting to a live show before he was gone.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was mid-90s. So I mean, you're going back like a ways now. Easy 3 decades on that. But like, yeah, man, he's see, this is what cracks me up because, like, all right, so you look at George Carlin, right, and you think like political comedian of sorts, or just community comedian where he just picks everything, doesn't matter what it is, just like all parts of life kind of a guy. But then like Gallagher would do the same kind of stuff, but he would do it while smashing watermelons.
True.
And like cans of beans and things.
Anything.
The Sledge-O-Matic.
Anything that didn't send out dangerous projectiles.
I know. It slices. It dices. It makes puree.
I'm like, one tomato less? No, doesn't work.
It just, that's like, you can, because I've seen both of them live.
I've seen Gallagher, yeah.
And it's just, they make you think, but I guess that's the thing that
you
I
have
probably
to wear like a raincoat or bring a poncho or something when you go to Gallagher.
It's kind of like SeaWorld, first 6 rows is the splash zone.
Right.
See, that's the thing. I'm just, most of the water shows, hey, they tell you this is a splash zone. You're going to get wet. It's part of the show.
Did you ever see his special, Gallagher? You ever see his special where he had like this giant couch rolled out on the stage? It was like an enormous couch. And like somebody built this thing and like the whole like you could flip the cushions off just like a regular couch, and underneath was like these giant trampolines that were all connected. So
yeah,
like all the,
I was on the I saw him on that tour because I've seen Gallagher.
you saw that show on stage.
Well, I saw him probably like 3 or 4 times.
Dude, I thought that was so hilarious. He's like pulling potato chips and like loose change out of the
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I've seen a few of his shows, man. Dude,
condom. I think he pulled out of the couch.
And that's the thing is like, so he's like super entertaining, but also making these like very thoughtful jokes. Whereas like George Carlin is just like rapid fire, deep thought that like you don't even get a chance to breathe and take it all in. And it's just,
Well, he would just start creating these weird, like, didn't he create, he did like, the silly string? Didn't he create like a gun that would shoot like 3 or 6 silly string all at the same time, and it would just make a huge mess? And
George Carlin or
no, I was still talking about
Gallagher. See, I segued over to
I know
Carlin.
you segued. I was still on
and you
Gallagher.
said he, and it was just like,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
I segued. Like I told you I was pulling over, and then I pulled over.
Getting tired.
So I can't pull over any further. And then you attempted to pull me back onto but I'd already. So we just
all right, just
we had
try
to
it.
stop.
Just go ahead, just try it.
We need to get our bearings straight. Maybe we should have taken a left at Albuquerque. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Give me the keys.
Take a minute. Stay past in the median.
Give me the keys, Lisa.
He doesn't even have his learner's permit. He don't even have his license. Yeah, he's correct. I don't even have my learner's permit. I don't. I can't do.
You
this.
okay back there?
I'm perfectly.
And in fact, my nuts is halfway up my ass. I'm perfect. I can't even do that.
See, this is like, so growing up, man, right? Like when John Hughes was doing all of his stuff. So Breakfast Club, Weird Science, like all that stuff. I couldn't afford to go to like the theaters and we didn't have like cable or none of that. So like I had to wait until it was like 2 or 3 years later, because then they'd finally put it on like TV. So I could watch it on like, back in the day it was like KTLA 5 or something, which now I think is like 7 or 11. I
So
forget.
bootlegs come a long way since then? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is like when I would finally watch the John Hughes movies, which by no means had like crazy language in it, but the censoring that they did like way back in the day, dude, the stuff that they changed when I finally got like the movie for myself, like, I started like doing odd jobs or whatever, making money and things, it wasn't much, but I always scraped it together. So I started watching, buying the movies I wanted. And most of those were like the John Hughes stuff.
You get to hear the actual version.
So dude, when I finally get the real version, I was just like, yo, I got so cheated so many times.
Why did they take that out?
Oh, and it was like over horrible stuff. Like, dude, in Breakfast Club,
Or it'd be changed out with a voice that doesn't even match.
well,
Just bleep it. That'd be better.
When I first realized that like they were really doing it, I was watching the Breakfast Club, and there's a line from John Bender where he says, "Eat my shorts," and they butcher the censoring on it so bad.
Okay, how is that offensive?
I don't know. I can't tell you. All I know is they try to change it from "eat my shorts" to "eat my socks." But like you still get the like of the short, but then you get the
shocks.
So it's like "eat my shocks." It's like "eat my what?" His what? And my mom's like, "I think he said sock." I was like, "I don't think so."
Shocks.
Dude, I got lied to on that one. Well, dude, that was a horrible dude. That was like legit the first time I realized it's just like, dude, you guys are changing stuff here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Not buying it. Yeah, no, it was
Changing stuff. What are you doing?
it was horrible.
Who do you think you are, George Lucas?
And that's the thing though, is like John Hughes with the language, because he's a great writer, I feel. He just like, Kevin Smith or any of those guys, when they write all their own scripts, the language that they use, the context in which they use it. I mean, there's a reason for when they become verbose. It's not to just be like fancy pants, look at me, I can read a dictionary. There's a style to it. There's, an element that gives you like proper tone and context. Like it really adds to it. Yeah, well, you kind of get that almost like Shakespearean kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Where for you to run through those words to create that sentence gives it a different flow. It allows for that more appropriate, like emotional connection. So you can, read the body language more than you do listen to the lines. That's why I love me some John Hughes, man.
I'm just thinking of, my brain went Hot Fuzz. Wasn't that the
Hot Fuzz?
Movie?
Was that?
The police movie with the same guys from...
Yeah, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Right. From
Shaun of the Dead. Oh God, what's this? Not the. Not
I was
that
thinking
this
about
is
the
the end,
bad
but end of the
Shakespearean
world.
acting with the...
What do
the
you
only
mean?
thing that was real about that scene was the kiss. Or something like that.
What? In Hot Fuzz or?
Yeah, it was in Hot Fuzz.
Was it? I don't see. I never really watched that one too much. It wasn't one of my more favorites.
The really terrible Romeo and Juliet and terrible stage performance.
Yeah, I don't know. I like their Shaun of the Dead's pretty dope. They did their version of E.T. called Paul with Seth Rogen.
I still need to see that one.
It's freaking hilarious.
I still have yet to see that.
Well, because you're basically, so what they do is they redid E.T., but now the alien has been here on the planet for 50, 60 years. Of course, he's a completely different entity, so he doesn't age the same. But he's like this smoking, drinking, partying little alien because he's just, chilling out and explaining like fusion and UFOs and like their technology. And just like, that's where we got microwaves and all these other things. And because he was slowly giving them more and more stuff. But yeah, so Seth Rogen is this like stoner, super smart alien. It's hilarious. Because it's a couple, you get the super British accent, but then you get like this crazy like stoner North American accent. And with his laugh, that laugh, right?
Yeah.
Right. That shit. So it's like you get that kind of thing. So the combination of the two, and it's kind of like coinciding with the idea of, E.T. So it's like a reboot almost. It's freaking hilarious. The kids watched it. She thought it was like the best thing ever because she likes Pineapple Express with Seth Rogen because it's just a funny movie.
It is a funny movie.
And she likes him because he's like a complete idiot, but he's a funny idiot that everybody likes apparently.
Fritz.
Yeah, they get the Snickle Fritz. Lingerer, man. Lingerer. I hate lingerers. I thought hurricane season was over. He's got like 3 TVs, satellite radio. Yeah. Do you know originally that those two characters were supposed to be switched? James Franco was supposed to be the stoner, and Seth Rogen was supposed to be the drug dealer.
Oh,
and they sat down and started.
I think you told me that before.
Yeah, they sat down and started doing the readings, and everybody's just like, nobody was feeling it. Like nobody was feeling it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Somebody was just like, "Hey,
I made
the
motion of changing their scripts, but it would still be the same script.
Yeah, I think somebody was just like being smarty pants. Was just like, "Why don't you just switch the roles, see what happens?" And they're just like, "All right, cool, whatever." And they did it, and all of a sudden it was just like, "That's what it is." Okay, now we got it.
Hey, how many wonderful inventions have come about like that?
Yeah, I mean, just freaking
a lot.
What does Bob Ross say?
Like, you got chocolate.
There are no mistakes, only happy little accidents. Right? Like, dude, I love that idea. Like, that's so awesome.
I like happy little accidents. That sounds.
I love happy little accidents because
I don't like to make.
Then you get these little white fluffy clouds over here, and then these beautiful green.
Maybe somewhere in there's a little bird.
I know there's a little squirrel in that
telling
branch.
a story. He's like going off on a tangent. Do you remember that? I used to watch. I don't know what drew me into that show when I was a kid. It was just
his voice is very calming.
Exactly there was only so many things on TV.
Oh yeah, no, dude. When we were kids, yeah, because there was only like 12 channels.
It was like, well, I could watch like the Nature Channel, or I could watch Bob Ross paint.
Yeah, because we would get home from school, and that was the thing that was on the TV at that point. Because it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just Bob Ross, just like,
Damn, there's nothing.
"Hi, we're gonna paint a nice tree today." You're just like, "Oh, buddy, yeah, how are you?" You just like get sucked in
I
by
just
it.
fall into it. Like, I don't know what.
All right, and there's just maybe right over here. There's just this happy little squirrel just hanging out on a branch. Maybe he's gonna go look for an acorn. You're just like, this is the greatest story ever. It's not. This is not a great story, but his voice is very mesmerizing.
I mean, not only was it, there was very little on TV, but you didn't have an actual remote control.
No, you had
if
your
you
little
wanted-
brother.
If you wanted to, yeah, well, that was
You had the
me.
youngest child in the room.
If you wanted to change the channel, you had to go up to the TV and actually punch it in or go.
Oh yeah, no, we. I've had
was
to.
it?
For the UHF, yeah, because I had a pair of vice grips because the knob was gone, so I just had like this pair of
Yeah, we
vice
had
grips
one of
just
those-
like hanging off, and you just tick it by the end and just.
We had one of those false wood cabinet RCAs, which
One of them,
now
Jones.
would seem so tiny by comparison to the smallest TV you can buy. But that was like
right.
that was like awesome. But yeah, they had a keypad,
Oh, dude, yeah, I remember
like,
that.
like an old fashioned keypad. You just
Yeah, you'd have to punch in the channel you wanted.
like 03. Enter. Volume. Like that was real fancy. No remote control. That
Yeah,
was
so me, like, all right, so I'm switching up from like changing from my kung fu in the morning to now it's like, Elvira's afternoon horror show. So now I gotta like not only just like rotate the dial like 37 channels, around the other side.
Well, you have to set it. Wait,
But no, then now I gotta like take the antenna and like flip flop them a little bit.
was it
twist them out.
VHF? You have to set it to VHF on the bottom first, and then you go up to the top and you go.
Oh no, dude, the kung fu and Elvira were both on the UHF.
Okay.
So I never had to, I just had to rotate one dial and then flip flop the ears.
The ears to get
Yeah.
it from a different. Oh, it was from a different broadcasting station.
Yeah, well, happens. But as always,
Oh yeah. Once we get into a good conversation,
yeah, I know.
but yeah, if you want to keep the
Hashing out our
conversation going,
freaking
right?
childhoods.
Hit us up at ity@directionsandmusic.org
You tell us how sad you are for us and sharing our pain and suffering.
or hit us up individually, right?
Yeah, at Philly D at directionsandmusic.org.
Or Gemini GEMINI at directionsandmusic.org.
I am a robot. Oh, yeah.
Or just ITY at directionsandmusic.org.
That's correct. If
Okay,
you want to
all
hit
of us.
any of us, yeah.
That's right.
Because, one of us will answer. I assure you. We love you. We want you to reach out, continue the conversation.
Yeah, and be good to each other.
Well, that's what,
Right.
that's what I'm telling you is about is, communication and just being good. So, which, as always, be good to yourself and be good to everyone else. Peace.
Peace.
Those